Thanks, Fanel. Beth Dunford is from USAID. Beth, hello. Come and stand by the podium, please. Very good. So Beth's... Ooh, that's impressive. Didn't even have to ask for that. So Beth's big brothers, one was a career State Department, and the other was a career high-level NGO. Let me tell you what Beth's official title is on her business card. In fact, Beth, you do it.
Assistant to the Administrator for Food Security at USAID.
All right, so I think you're as high as your brothers, right? Okay, they will be impressed. And then what do you like to call yourself?
I lead Feed the Future.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, Beth. The stage is yours.
Great, thank you. So as Femi mentioned, I'm Beth Dunford, and I lead the Feed the Future initiative. And I hope by this point, all of you have heard of Feed the Future. But for those of you who haven't, it's the US government's signature effort to end hunger. And we're helping countries get their agriculture sector right to deliver better nutrition, growth, and jobs that reduce poverty and hunger. And we view ending hunger as both one of the greatest challenges and also opportunities of our lifetime. And we're going to need youth to be a part of this mission if we're going to achieve it. And now I know we all know that. That's why we're all here today. But we're the believers. And at USAID, the United States Agency for International Development, and also many of you here in the room, we also have the additional privilege, honor, and responsibility of also being the doers. So we're taking the knowledge that youth need agriculture and agriculture needs youth and really turning it into action. We're also measuring and evaluating to find out what actually works to best engage youth. So for a very long time, as we know, youth have faced barriers that keep them from finding meaningful, profitable work in agriculture. So from not only owning land to cultivate, to not being able to access credit in the same way that more established farmers and entrepreneurs can. And there's also a perception among youth that agriculture is lame and not profitable. So at the same time, we've also not engaged youth in the way that we want to in our development programs. So we are making a much needed change. We've expanded and broadened our work and engagement to take young people's specific needs, specific barriers, and motivators into account when designing programs. And as we know, this is a win-win for food security in particular, as the ag sector is really ripe for innovation and growth in many developing regions and can provide jobs for youth in places where the population is growing and where we also know that unemployment is very high. So we've seen that youth aspire to engage in agriculture activities that incorporate modern practices, technology, entrepreneurship, as well as those that generate quick money with relatively higher returns. Youth are not interested in low returns and doing the same kind of things their parents did, just working on solely staple crops, for example. So they're also interested and often more willing to learn and adopt new technologies like those in the digital space that you just heard about on the last panel. And to harness this, Feed the Future is working to create new opportunities for youth in agriculture, both on and importantly, off the farm. And we're getting more creative about how we do that. One of my favorites is a reality TV show called Don't Lose the Plot. And some of you may have heard it. The Associated Press did a story about it. And what this reality TV show did is they took a group of contestants and they gave them each a plot of land and some assistance to give them the right technologies to get ahead. And it was a competition. And at the end, the contestant with the most productive land won a grant of $10,000 to start their own agribusiness. So this show was backed by USAID, one of the first of its kind in East Africa. And it was really a creative way to show young people that farming can be fun and it can also be profitable, to show them that there's money in the soil. And so this is just one of the many creative approaches that we're taking to engage youth. And I wanted to mention that next month, we're going to be releasing a state-of-the-art programming guidance on what we've learned about what the evidence says are what works about the best ways to engage youth across the food system, from farm all the way through the many different agribusinesses and many different pathways to the fork. So by intentionally considering the distinct aspirations, assets, opportunities, and also challenges that young people face, we can better design programs that overcome these barriers, find meaningful work, and be a part of the solution to end global hunger. So this includes, importantly, preparing them for the new and emerging economic opportunities by helping them build the right skills and also abilities of the food systems for the future. So we're working with families, also communities and peers within the larger agriculture, also the institutional and policy spaces, to empower youth and give them a voice in these types of important areas. So as with everything in Feed the Future, our impact comes from working in partnership with others, and we're looking increasingly to partner with the private sector to more strategically involve young people throughout the food systems. We've seen this work in places like Uganda, where 78% of the population is under 30. Let that sink in, 78%. So Feed the Future has worked with the private sector there to engage more than 35,000 in-school and out-of-school youth to help them get the skills and the training they need to be successful in market-driven agriculture. And last year, I had the pleasure of meeting one of the program's partners, Fatima Namatosi, who after working with Feed the Future, was able to grow her small business into a successful food company. And her company is now helping young people to tap in the potential for agriculture, for employment, and growth. And she's creating on and off-farm jobs for thousands of youth just like herself. So Feed the Future is working to create a whole generation of agro-entrepreneurs like this in Uganda and beyond. So like many of the young people in America today, young people around the world are seeking meaningful work. They not only want to make a living, but they also want to make a difference. And working in the food system is an incredible way, an incredible opportunity for them to achieve both. By working together and taking young people's unique needs and aspirations into account, we can help them make this happen. Thank you.